Hello! In this lesson, we talk about methods for assessing students' CBLL projects with recommended tools. Final projects and assessment can take on many forms when dealing with community-based learning. From journals to papers to electronic discussions to class presentations, teachers must utilize an assessment method that will be the most effective in their particular class. Community-based learning practitioners have found that the most important consideration to keep in mind when assigning a grade is that the student is not being graded on their time at the learning site, nor on their performance at the site, but rather on their ability to reflect on the experience in ways that demonstrate the student's ability to eliminate, examine, and master academic material. In the previous lesson, we discussed some assessment tools for authentic learning experience. Today, we will study 3 popular assessments, including integrative papers, portfolios, and class presentations. Integrative papers. Most courses use papers as the summative activity for a course. Some courses have students develop a series of shorter assignments, which are then used to bring together the final paper. Others use journals as field notes for the final paper. Papers are generally most effective as the final assessment when they are a combination of a series of reflective discussions or assignments. Problem-solving papers. Students investigate a social problem related to their community-based learning assignment by defining the problem, analyzing root causes, identifying the stakeholders, identifying alternative policy solutions, and recommending a policy to be pursued. Research is not confined to the library, but includes interviewing experts working to deal with the issue in the field. Theory application papers. Students identify a particular theoretical perspective or concept and then use their community-based experiences to test the theory. Students argue for or against key points of the theory with examples from their experience. Case studies. Case studies can focus on individuals, on the service project itself, or on the agency's role in meeting the needs of community members. Community-based learning self-assessment. Some classes make the final paper an explicit evaluation of the student's community-based learning experience using criteria identified for effective experiential learning. Students discuss personal growth and critique the program and the placement. Agency analysis. Students analyze the agency they worked with using appropriate organizational frameworks and evaluation tools. They combine their observations with information about who is served, how policies are made, where funding is obtained, and future plans for the organization. Book review. Another option is to ask students to select a book to review, or have them choose one from a list, and to incorporate their critique with a discussion of their community-based learning experience. Portfolios. A portfolio is a collection of documents and other forms of evidence of student achievements, specifically as they relate to learning plan objectives. Portfolios can be used for both student and program evaluation. Documentation offers an opportunity for students to create documents that are much closer to the kinds of documents they will create in work settings. Such documents can be a valuable addition to students' portfolios or professional area of expertise. The process of grading student documentation is similar to grading an essay exam. You decide what criteria you are looking for in the documents the students will submit and assign points or grade accordingly. Things that can be included in a portfolio: documents drafted or written, article reviews, book reports, office reports, pamphlets or flyers, written analysis of problems, issues, options, or other assessments, finished projects, videotapes, graphics, charts, spreadsheets, training programs, photos, marketing plans, research project results, pamphlets, list of projects completed, presentations made, and training completed, all supported by date, location, and organization. Annotated bibliography of readings related to course objectives. Grant portfolios. Learning objectives for the community-based experience should be clearly stated at the beginning of the course, and a plan to achieve those goals should be developed by each of the students. Portfolios can be evaluated with a number of questions. To what extent does the learning plan represent an appropriate and sophisticated level of learning? To what extent does the learning represent a broad range of learning objectives? Is there evidence for each learning objective? Does the evidence demonstrate a specific standard of achievement? Are the portfolio items clear evidence that learning has occurred? Is the portfolio clearly organized and professionally presented? Class presentations. Class presentations can be an effective way to help students synthesize the material they have gathered during their experiences. The presentations can be short, 3-minute updates throughout the semester, or a longer presentation at the end of the semester. Presentations can be individual or group-based and can include inviting community members. The Figure 2.2 provides a checklist to evaluate students' project with 8 essentials, namely knowledge, understanding and success skills, challenging problem or question, student voice and choice, sustained inquiry, authenticity, reflection, public product, critique and revision. Do your students get interested in the issue of the project? Does the project require students to use the 21st century skills like communication skills, computer skills, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking? Next, about challenging problem or question. You may need to ask if the students find a central matter for their project. What is it? Regarding student voice and choice, how do your students raise their voice? Do they have all the freedom to choose what to do with the projects, or do they select one from a list of options? In respect of sustained inquiry, does the project lead to a meaningful answer to a problem? Can students generate new ideas from what they have done in the project Does the project involve an active, in-depth process for students to keep generating questions and finding answers? One more thing teachers need to bear in mind is that CBLL programs promote authentic learning experience. Therefore, authenticity is obviously one of the elements you need to be considered. The questions you may come up with are like, does the project have a real-world context? Does the project use a real-world process and tool? Does the project make a real impact? Is the project connected to students' own concern, interest, or identities? Finally, reflection, public product, critique, and revision are final essentials of evaluating a project. Do students get feedback on what they have done in the projects? Who give the feedback? How many chances are there for students to revise their work in the project? What is the final product of the project? Is the project presented publicly to people beyond the participants? How? Does the project have processes for students to give and receive feedback on their work? Do students have chances to revise their ideas and products or conduct further inquiry? To sum up, there are 3 key assessments that can be utilized to assess learning outcomes of a CBLL course. They are integrative papers, portfolios, and class presentations. Thank you for watching.